Last couple lines back here. Okay, now it's time to fill in the blacks. I'm gonna grab my number 2 brush. There's a couple places where the areas are outrageously big where I'll use the number 5, but I'll basically use the number 2 brush to outline black areas. Then I'll go in with number 5, and I can get away with being a little less precise when I establish thick parameters with number 2. And at this stage, if there are any lines that have lightened up because of your erasing, now's the time to darken them back up. Sometimes at this stage, if I rush too much, I'm going to go right outside the lines and I got to retouch it up with white out and go back in with the black, and I'm trying to go as fast as I can with care. Now if your hand is not steady enough, you can do a series of smaller strokes when you're going along longer lines like this, or you can do one long stroke. I'm going to block in part of the monster's right leg. Let's do some more blocking in, just so when I come in with a big brush, I can just whip it right out and fill in the big black areas quite quickly and easily. Moving into the center of the monster's body now, blocking in some of the blacks there. And some of the blacks here in the background. Filling in this black area will kind of pop out the monster a little bit. Moving on to the building over on this side of the background. When I get to the outer bleed areas here, if the blacks go all the way out there, I don't rule these lines out here. It's not going to be shown in print. The print's going to crop off a little bit, so I'm not going to be very anal about ruling in these lines perfectly straight out here. Moving down to the second panel, just going to block in the blacks there. A lot of it's already blocked in pretty thick, except for a few areas where I have to be careful around his cyber eye. I guess that's the area where I have to be the most careful. So I went a little too crazy and I overlapped this panel border here. So I'm going to have to touch that up with whiteout. But before I do that, I'm going to finish blocking in the blacks on his chest. See, what a way for me to mess up right on deadline. There's always something that'll hold me back. You just live on the edge. I gotta let that dry and touch it up again. Now you should really go in with a straight edge and just rule right over that whiteout spot to make the line straight again with the rest of the entire line of that border. I'm so hardcore, so crazy, I'm just gonna go with the brush. Good enough. Now, last panel. Not much to do here from what I can tell. Actually, I think this part of the monster's arm and shoulder are all I have to do for the blacks. Is that it? Are we done? Now the fun part, and the easiest. Take my huge number 5 brush and just go in and swab all the black areas that are left. So here we go. Now this is a horrible brush. I recommend getting a much better brush because this one is splitting like crazy. It's very old. My stupid brother took it and dipped it in some automotive paint and ruined it. So that's why it's splitting like crazy on me. That's actually the main reason why I even block it in with a smaller brush. This can't even get a fine point anymore. That's as good as it gets, folks. I highly recommend getting a brand new brush that works. This is quite old. I'm ready to get a new one. Just like that. And we're done with the first panel. Second panel will be just as fast. Now when you're laying in blacks this fast and this thick, it might take a little while before the ink dries on the surface. You know what? I think this is actually the only black I have to fill in before the page is all done. Good. Gotta get going. I'm going to depend on the speed that I run out to my car with the girls to accelerate the drying process through sheer force of the air currents. All right, gotta go. Come on, girls. Here we go.
He missed it.
That's funny.
Tom, this is Stefan. Hey, man, I tried to be civil about this thing, and, I'm losing my mind here. You said you'd have that art to me, on time. This is our money that you're with. If you can't get it done, that's fine. You gotta let me know. Quit ducking my calls and pick up. Either do the art, don't do the art. I don't care anymore. We've missed our print date. Now that book is not going to make it on time. So it's done. Don't even bother touching the pages. You're fired, man.